Hi guys, and welcome back to This Model Engineers Workshop. I'm the chef. Today, bit of a milestone day. As you can see, I've got a few rather large, or some large and some small, bits of steel on the bench today. You can probably work it out by now that these are the two locomotive side frames. This one here is the rear buffer beam. This one is then the front buffer beam, and here is the water pump stay plate that goes about halfway down the frame, so it acts as a frame stay and also has the main water pump based in it. Many years ago, when I was putting bits and pieces together for the tender, I was cutting some of this angle. There we go. For the tender, I used the exact same angle. As you can see, one leg is been made slightly shorter. It's 44mm against 50mm. So while I was at it, I made all the others, all 6. So we've got front. My coding is maybe a little bit weird, but anyway, this is the front buffer beam, and that's the front up against the buffer beam plate itself. This one says, believe it or not, a little bit backwards, I suppose, or a little bit, but I know what it means, it doesn't matter. That's rear front, so that goes on this plate. So rear buffer beam up against the front, up against the plate itself, and then these two say pump stay plate on them, and that one there, say they both say both. So wherever the writing is goes up against the plate. Where there is no writing goes up against the side frame of the locomotive. So you can imagine, I'll work out which is inside and outside. You know, I'll just have a look down them when I'm ready, and have a bit of a squint down them, see if there's any bend been introduced from the laser cutting. If there has, I'll probably end up putting the bow to the outside, so it looks a bit more like a bit of a barrel shape, an olive shape, and so it pulls itself straight as we go along. As you can see, here are the holes for the front buffer beam. So if I take one of these, you can imagine that one, there we go, that one goes there. If you then take one of the rear ones, that one goes there, lines up nicely. Yep, very nice. And the pump stay ones go somewhere about there. There's those holes, there they are. So writing to the plate, doesn't matter whether these ones are upside or not. So the next job now is to make a little sketch for myself for the front buffer beam angles, then one for the rear buffer beam angles, and one for the pump stays, so I can work in the mill. So when it's clamped in like that, I've got my 0, 0 on the corner like I've explained before in the vise, and then I can drill the hole pattern. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've then got to come in the right amount of distance and zap in 5 here, come in the next distance, go back, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4 to form the second row. Actually, it should be on that face. Where the writing goes is up against the buffer beam plate itself. So yeah, a bit of a milestone day, because we now have the plates and the angles, and let's have a think, 9, 18, 36, 36, 7, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. We're 50 bolts away from having all 6 angles bolted onto the frames, and then we are 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, another 20 there, 36 rivets. I'm not sure if this is bolted or riveted to its plate. I think it's rivets. So that would be 36 plus another 8 there, 44, 52 rivets away from having the frames put together. going to be a heavy beast. They're quite heavy just as they are, and this is something like 930 odd mil long. I think it is 950, call it. So just under the meter, plus the thickness of the plates both ends. So yeah, things are quite exciting at the moment. The tender is unfortunately still waiting for a wind still day here in Australia. Might not happen. We're cold and wet as well at the moment, so not ideal painting conditions, but I'm trying to think of a solution to that, because as I've said before, I've got to go outside and use a large cardboard box, and I need wind still and a bit of warmth. But in the meantime, as much as the tender stops, it means I can now start working on the locomotive frames themselves. Alright guys, I'm going to work out some sketches and I'll bring you back, and we'll get ourselves over to the mill just over there, and we'll start drilling some holes to match the patterns that the laser cutter put in from the file that I created from the drawings. Alright guys, I'll be back soon. Be a matter of seconds for you, might be an hour or a day for me, but it'll be as soon as I can get back anyway. Alright guys, I'll be back soon. Righto guys, here we are, set up at the mill now. As you can see, parts in the vise, centre drill in the chuck. I've got the next drill, which is the tapping size, 4.2 for an M5 times 0.8 tap. So I'm going to do this first hole, just let you see that. I'll let the camera run, might get a bit noisy with the mill, but then I'll do the rest off camera. And shouldn't take too long, should only take a couple of minutes to drill and tap a hole, but we'll see. Alright guys, here we go. Yeah, that took about 2 minutes, I think, just to drill and tap. So finish this row of 5, then put in a row of 4. They're staggered intermittently with the first row. Then that'll be this first front buffer beam angle with the tapped holes in. Then I can flip it round and do the side that actually goes up against the buffer beam with 10 holes for the rivets. Alright guys, as I say, I'm not going to show that. That'll be dull and boring. I'll get back to you when I've got the 9th hole done. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Righto guys, that's it. 9 holes drilled and tapped. Just a bit of cleaning up to do now. I'm going to whip this out of the vise and I can't resist. I'm going to bolt this onto the frames just to see. It'll be a real milestone for me. It'll just prove that I can do this, and B, it's going to be the real start of the Loco. The first two parts that actually I've made that go together to form the Loco frames. Righto guys, I'll be back in a few. I'm just going to bolt this onto the frames and have a look, see what it looks like. There we go guys, a couple of minutes have passed. 9 dome head M5 bolts. Oops, bit of a wobble there, sorry for that. There you can see the angle. I did just run a drill on the back of the holes to remove the burrs. They will get bolts and washers. I've got to get some M5 by 20 black dome heads. These are 25, so they're going to be a bit long. Although I will check the drawings just to see if there's anything at the back that they're going to interfere with. If not, I might just leave them in there. Look at that guys, great stuff, isn't it? Eh? The start of the Loco, bingo, here we go. Right guys, I've got another 5 of these brackets to do. I've got to take this one off. I've still got to drill the holes in that side for the riveting, for the buffer beam. So, there we have it. The first 2 parts of the Loco that I've made, as much as I've made stacks of little bits and pieces when I've just wanted something else to do, these are the first 2 bits that actually go together on the frames as part of the main construction. Okay guys, that's it for this video, so please like, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. This is the chef signing out, and I'll be with you again soon. Thanks a lot, bye now. Okay guys, quick update on the starting the locomotive. There's the front buffer beam angle. I've been sat at the machine for a little bit longer now. So this is the angle that will hold the frame stay and the main water pump. And this one is the rear buffer beam. So there you go. Rear pump, front buffer beam stays. I know it's 27 bolts I'll have to undo so I can put them back in to the mill. I've still got about 10, 20, 28, 36 holes to drill in these surfaces for the riveting of the front buffer beam, the rear buffer beam and the pump stay, which as you can see are just there ready and waiting. Alright guys, quick update. Once again, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks a lot. This is the chef signing out. Thanks a lot. Bye bye now. Okay guys, a little bit of an update. Here we are. Everything just kind of rested in place. Now you can see the 6 angles bolted into place. The 2 for the rear buffer beam. There's 2 down there for the pump stay in the middle. And the 2 at the front. The front buffer beam and the rear buffer beam are just resting quietly, so nothing falls over. It makes a hell of a clatter when it does. How would I know that one? Yep, been there. So just as a reference, there's a 30 centimeter ruler. As I said before, frames are, I believe, 930 mil long, plus the 2 thickness of the end plate, the 2 buffer beams, the end plates. So that brings us up to 942, and there's a coupling to go on this end and a coupling to go on the other end, of course. But a little bit of a progress update. Now I've got to take all these angles off. I couldn't resist putting them on. I just wanted to have this mock-up to show you guys, and start drilling all the holes for the rivets. 8 in here, 8 in there. Another 2 8s in these 2, and these front ones, they get 10. So 16, 32, 42, 52. 52 holes to drill M5, and then we can start getting some riveting done. So, okay guys, call it quits there for the moment. So this is the chef signing out. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Your subscriptions really make it worthwhile. Makes me want to keep going. We're doing quite well on the numbers as well at the moment, but that's another story for another day. Alright guys, I'll call it quits there now. Chef signing out. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.